Welcome to Walking Radio, a podcast dedicated to amplifying the voices of people on the margins and the front lines. This is a space where lived experience takes center stage, where stories are shared on their own terms, and where conversation happens in motion. In this episode, we take a drive around Guelph to check back in with our friend Rone from episode 2. We invite you to join us on our exploration and to see what new pathways of better understanding we discover along the way. I'm Patrick Corvin, and this is Walking Radio. I'm going to start. So it's Monday, January 5th, 2026 of all things, 10:35 in the AM. We're in Guelph, in the South End. We are joined with the illustrious Rone. Once again, can I hand this over to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, amazing. I'm going to set that. So as always, there's no pressure. Probably the first few minutes will be, it's just mindless chatter. So that's great. Everything is editable. You get the final say in everything.
Yeah. From basically, I'm trying to think like where we left off.
Yeah, I think you might need to hold it a little closer.
Oh yeah. So from where we left off, trying to think exactly.
That was the end of March.
Yeah.
We're just about to hit the ultimate April Fool's joke, you called it.
Yeah. So I think in the first, I think it was around the 10th of April, I started methadone.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think it was around then. So, instead of, just deal with that.
We're dealing with the sudden convergence of all cars in this subdivision. All
little plastic cars, they can only move backwards or forwards, apparently in 2 dimensions.
Highly confused.
Of course 2 dimensions, but shit. Where did the honk come from?
That might have been from another dimension.
Okay. You heard it too, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I did, yes.
It was like
it seems,
back right?
Yeah, it seems from... It didn't seem from any of the cars that were involved.
The clocks reach midnight, so we're fucked.
Dr. Emmett Brown on the case. Okay, where were we? Methadone. We started methadone mid-April? After the supervised consumption sites?
Yeah, so the supervised consumption sites, they closed in April.
Yeah.
I started methadone around the around the 10th or 11th of April.
Uh-huh.
Around the same time, my family doctor had to close her primary practice due to... No, that was earlier. That she had to close her primary practice due to her having a healthcare emergency.
Right, yeah. You mentioned that there.
So, my methadone doctor kind of ended up taking on some primary care roles for a few months till I could find a primary care physician. But that's kind of what happened as far as opioids are concerned there. But
do you want to talk a little bit about how, what it was like going on? Was it your first time on methadone?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'd never been on it before. It was thankfully, it was a really short time on opioids, period, for me, because I had only started taking them again in late February. Yeah.
So just shortly before we met.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah. When I ended up in the hospital for a convergence of like multiple physical health things. So, between the ang-spawn stuff and some other things that were going on, it just was not, manageable of just the biologics alone anymore and just the anti-inflammatories alone anymore.
Yeah, ang-spawn is ankylosing... No, how do you say?
Ankylosing spondylitis.
Ankylosing spondylitis, yes.
Yeah.
Which is a autoimmune disorder?
Yeah. So, and that with some neuro stuff that happened, and it kind of had to, like, they started treating it with the opioids in the hospital, and it was under-medicated when I got out, to say the least.
Yeah.
A midsummer, I think it was, met up with a specialist who was able to find another kind of immunosuppressant that worked really, really well for me. And then basically we started reducing the methadone pretty much immediately, and then went from 90 down to now it's the dose is 25, so it's kind of exciting. So
25 milligrams a day.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
So,
and some folks might not even know what methadone is. Do you want to talk about what it's used for?
It's a long-acting opioid, but it also, the reason we chose that one over Suboxone, even though it carries a little more risk, is in pain management. Maybe you can help me out here with your experience. Is there's a second receptor that it hits that it can also help with neuropathic pain.
Okay. Well, I'll take a stab at it.
Yeah, but
kappa. There's like the mu.
Yeah, but
receptors in kappa.
Yeah, but there's another one that it hits that is also not one of the regular opioid receptors.
Yeah, got me on the spot.
I know. I'm sorry. It's
I don't want to.
It's similar to the one that I believe gabapentin and ketamine work with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you still got me.
I'm sorry. I know. We shouldn't make it up, though. We shouldn't make it up.
I'm not a journalist, but I want to try to maintain some journalistic integrity.
And we're not going to break out the Google, so. But
listeners who have no way of reaching me anyways will have to just reflect in their own minds.
But that's the reason we went with that one, even though it carries more risk than Suboxone.
For neuropathic pain.
Yeah. And, it has a very long half-life. It's an opioid.
Yeah. I kind of think of it as like the Nicorette of opioids. It's helpful for, along with like Suboxone, like you said, or Sublocade. Helpful for people who are trying to either wean themselves off or like aiming towards abstinence from opioids. It's takes care of the cravings with the like known pharmacological quality, like you're getting it from a pharmacy, right?
Yeah.
Rather than buying it off the street, for example.
Yeah. So you're building, a relationship with the doctor that you see every week, and you're meeting with this doctor every week. You're going to the same pharmacy regularly. You're being closely followed. It's an important program.
Yeah. And so is that something you have to pick up every day? Like
at first. At first, while you're, building a relationship with these people, they want to, they want to know that you're safe, that you're responsible, that you're taking it as prescribed, and, as they get to know who you are and kind of how serious you are and what you're about, they give you more to take with you, and as more time goes on, taking it with you becomes less of an issue, but...
Right. Are you comfortable talking about your recent trip? How that fits in?
Yeah. So I went back home over the holidays to visit my family, and with there being one holiday a few days before I was leaving, I went to the pharmacy and picked up a little more than 2 weeks of it. When a lot of the time, some people will not leave with more than 1 week's at a time's worth, because I spent time building, like, cultivating that relationship with my medical team. So,
and home is
Montreal. Yeah.
How have you found, with going on methadone, did you find it helpful for the cravings and, like, managing withdrawal symptoms?
I never got the cravings too much, but I found for the withdrawals it was very helpful. So, because with, being, with being, chronically ill already, and then, coming off a 3-week-long hospital stay where, they're giving you medication every 3 hours, and then they bring it down to every 5 before they discharge you, and then they give you a discharge prescription for every 12 of the same thing they were giving you every 5. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, like, that was kind of a problem. Like, had it been a week-long hospital stay, it would have been fine. But, so.
In terms of your interactions with the healthcare system, when we first met, you were connected to the community health center here in Guelph, where we are right now. We're just driving past the University of Guelph, the beautiful campus. Since the consumption and treatment services shut down at the community health center, how has that affected your relationship, or what's been the significance of that closure on your life?
I don't have, like, my primary care is somewhere else. So I have, like, some, they have some community services that are open to everybody, like some, specific nursing programs and stuff. But other than that, I'm not, like, very connected with them. So...
Yes, I know one of the mainstays in your life is music, and you have a background in formal training in music. Do you want to talk about that?
I went to I went to college, and I got a classical music degree in college in Montreal before I left, and never did much with it, as most people do.
Yeah, it's a tough road.
But I still find ways to enjoy it. Like, I still have a space in Guelph that I use to, like, play some music in, that we're gonna go look at in a little bit. And I still have a lot of, like, pretty different instruments in my life that I still play a little bit. And so I did my degree was in trombone, of all things.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You also played the euphonium?
Yeah, the euphonium, or, like, baritone horn. Yeah. Well, they pretty much share a mouthpiece, like the trombone and euphonium. So, and they're keyed the same way. So.
Oh, interesting.
It's kind of like they say, like, you know, trumpet and flugelhorn, or like, yeah.
Wow. You're a one-person orchestra. And you also play guitar.
Not well.
We won't hold that against you. Do you want to talk about how your health conditions have affected your musicianship?
Yeah. So, I've over the years had to, put things down for a couple of years at a time at some points, just due to, my hands, or mostly my hands. And then there was one point, like when I got out of the hospital last year, where I just didn't have the coordination anymore. Like, I couldn't pick things up the first time for about 3 months when I got out of the hospital last year. So that was a hit. That wasn't fun. But mostly just swelling in my hands was the main reason I've had to, put things down and kind of start over again. And so...
we are approaching the undisclosed location, so we won't give away the secret spot. Do you want to pause recording for now and then pick it up a little later? Is there anything else you want to keep rolling?
Yeah, we can do that. We can pick it up in a minute.
Okay. Red buttons are always on. Pause. Yes. And then I'm going to do the magical sync. What's the name of a country that starts with the letter C? Croatia. Marking Croatia in 3, 2, 1. Okay, great. All right, we are at a secret, undisclosed location where all kinds of tromboning happens.
Making it sound worse than it is. It's silver and gold.
This is amazing!
Walk around the whole place after if you want.
I'd love that. Whoa. I'm reluctant to describe it too much because it's I know it's a bit of a secret location.
I need to find the switches.
Oh. Whoa. This is amazing.
Give your eyes a minute.
Yeah. Can I describe a little bit what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
We're in a practice room. There's this beautiful, old electric organ, a tiny little one. So similar to one I had as a kid, I remember. Oh my gosh. There's a drum kit, these Christmas lights. Oh man, guitars, these huge amps, posters everywhere. Elvis Costello, Marvin Gaye. Oh my God, my hero. Oh, this is gorgeous. So, do you want to talk about where we are now that I've?
Yeah. I think I've had this for 3.5 years, 3 years, something like that. So it's a shared space. We just pay rent here, and so obviously not all of this is mine, only some of it. Just get my keys out the door and get going. But yeah.
And so you come here to practice?
Yeah, there's guitar and different horns I've had, and should really bring more of my stuff and just leave it here so I'm more inclined to come here so I don't have to haul it down. Should leave some of the small stuff here.
Right. When you do come here to practice, what kind of music do you tend to play?
It really depends what I've brought with me. Like with my horns, it tends to be with my horns, it tends to be more like classical music stuff, etudes, method books, embouchure building stuff, just not very exciting stuff. But I also have like real books that have, jazz standards and stuff that I would play. And then with guitars, just kind of from method books to whatever kind of garbage I feel like playing that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's so magical. To me, this is like peak Guelph.
Yeah. Guelph of people's memories is alive and well here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to get that power bar behind you?
Yeah.
And I'll get this one after. Cool. It should just lock itself, yeah.
Okay. This is, some sex positive graffiti. Led Zeppelin poster, Frank Zappa, Pulp Fiction, The Clash, London Calling, I believe that is. Some more, I don't know how to describe that poster. Sex positive and vaguely problematic. There's a Muppet party animal, everyone's favorite drummer. All right, headed back downstairs. Sounds like we have company. Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. How you doing?
How are you?
Not bad.
Very classic old Coke vending machine.
So, c'est ça qui est ça.
What?
What?
Well, thank you so much for showing me that. This is so beautiful. I guess we can keep rolling. Is it unlocked? Okay. Awesome. We're back in the car.
Warmer there.
Yeah, oh yeah. We were saying earlier. So the first time we met, I was just starting the podcast, and I was using a Swiffer Duster as a wind protector. We've upgraded significantly. I've got these wireless mics, but now we're using, for microphone handles, using dollar store spatulas. Seems to be working okay.
I'm impressed. It's good engineering.
Thanks.
Yeah.
The question is just how to negotiate this while driving. Maybe I'll just tuck it into my coat here. I don't think this will... No, I know this will work. There we go. Amazing. And very fetching. When we swing by my place, I'll grab your gift.
Yeah.
It's small, but I think it's cool.
St. George's Park is also always just really interesting to look at.
St. George's Park. That's like
Just the ward but up the hill.
oh my gosh.
Where little mobsters live. Neighborhood up from the 100 Steps.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
The 100 Steps is so I don't know, sacred to me. I just love it so much.
Oh, I lived like 5 houses down from it for about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also this Italian film that I liked. It was one of the first films I projected when I was living in Kings, called Il Centi Passi, the 100 Steps. So I always associate it with that film. I won't say too much about the neighborhood we're driving through right now. That won't give away. Astute listeners will already be piecing things together. Luckily, there's only 4 listeners. So we're a voice in the wilderness. No, I won't say where we are. But
I had an awesome view at my place from the 100 Steps. Like just down, because I had a Coke house just down the hill. Not only could I see the whole city, but there was a Coke house just like across, just down the cliff.
Oh.
So it was just the shenanigans, the front lawn fights. Like they weren't clean about it. They weren't professional about it.
Oh no,
whatsoever.
they were messy.
Yeah.
Some
They were
slippage.
really messy.
Oh no.
They were real messy about it.
Good reminder to keep your shit tight.
Yeah, like not just a little messy.
Oh. I think I might know the people you're describing.
Yeah, lineup of white Beamers and like, yeah.
Maybe. Well, that was not really my crowd, but I think I might know the place you're talking about. I might have been there. Not for any sort of untoward activities, just by coincidence. Okay, I'm just at my place now.
Yeah.
I think I'll grab this little gift and then we'll be back. Are you okay waiting here?
Yeah.
And even if you want, we can just leave it running. If you want a monologue, you're more than welcome to.
Sure.
I'll leave this mic on, but it'll just be sitting on the dashboard, and you can have yours.
Oh, smoking thoughts.
Rone.
Oh yeah, Rone smoking thoughts.
Yeah.
Shit. Our 4 listeners will know.
Yes. My only thing is try not to get the mic in the snow.
Yeah.
Anything else, you're free to do.
Rone's smoking thoughts, 11:16 a.m. The need for supervision, or even just understanding of pain management after discharge, isn't really looked after or understood. Somebody who is going from having inpatient level supports and is now dealing with, deconditioning and regaining independence at home, and absolutely, does not want to be taking opioids, needs the proper prescription taper to get off medication, starting a prescription on the discharge day of where it could be 4 or 5 days in, works for people on a week-long stay, but is not necessarily productive. For people on a long stay. And I've heard too many other stories of this happening, and I'm lucky enough that I had community supports to get out of it, but not everybody does. I have an address book of people that didn't. I got you something.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
That's good.
Can I look at it?
So, yeah, well, it's all yours.
Okay.
I also didn't gift wrap it. No one wants to gift wrap.
Thank you.
No problem.
You got electric heat in your place?
Yeah. Is it interesting? How did you piece that together?
A hygrometer.
It's actually yes, and it was sitting on top of a fireplace,
Yeah.
a gas fireplace.
Yeah.
Is that hygrometer reading low?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a mind. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Since we're close to downtown, do you want to stop by your pharmacy?
I got to go to the
downtown?
appointment first and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Is that somewhere I could take you?
I got to pick a couple things up at home really quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just camping. I got the account. So.
Oh, okay, great. Should we head back up to your place? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll re-slate. I don't know if any difference it will make. I'm sure it's all synced still. Double check. The red light's still on.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. What is an animal that starts with the letter G?
I want to think of a fun one. But damn.
How about a
Groundhog.
Groundhog. Slate, groundhog. 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Okay. What are some profound philosophical questions I can ask you?
Try me.
Well, I know the United Church is a big part of your life.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the significance of that in your world?
You gotta be more specific than that.
Something you could drill down for me. I'm not a journalist. Okay. I often think about, I don't necessarily identify as a Christian, but I do recognize I was raised in that tradition, and it lives in my core memories. And I think of the Christian, when I think of the Christian message, the core of it, I think of compassion and caring and solidarity with profoundly marginalized folks, which seems to be a message lost on a great number of Christians who seem to have co-opted the whole concept to turn it into an instrument of cruelty and hatred and maliciousness. But I found the United Church, at least my interactions, especially through my anti-hate organizing and huge shout out to the beautiful Lakeshore United Church in Goderich, who are just absolute stalwarts of like moral clarity. I guess the question I'm leading to is, in terms of your own identity as a trans person, often religious spaces are not friendly. How has your experience been inhabiting that space within a Christian fellowship as a trans person?
It's been really refreshing and pretty interesting, honestly. I spend time in denominations outside of the United Church or mainline Protestant denominations too. So, because again, like what you had said about, the main part of the Christian message. So, even in the more traditional denominations, the most absolute adversity I've been faced with has been this kind of trying to think of exactly how to phrase it, but it's not a you need to go away. It's a you're clearly here because you care. You're not here to cause a problem. So if you're here because you care, then therefore I do too. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting, but it's kind of a two people can agree to disagree, even though that might not be the one where I will specifically get along with people, because theologically speaking, the trans issue itself is not in the pages of Scripture, or at all, really. Mm-hmm. So that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah, I think some people I've spoken to talk about the biblical concept of Yahweh or of God as being a genderless character. Of course, others see as a profoundly patriarchal, very masculine figure. Yeah. I know the church, Lakeshore United, my hometown is what's called an affirming congregation. That they go through a whole litany of steps to acquire that
whole denomination has to all members of the denomination have to vote, not just the clergy, to be an affirming denomination in the United Church.
Oh, like the members of the congregation?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you familiar with that process, or do you want to talk about what affirming is in this context?
I believe that the word, the kind of catchphrase the United Church uses is public, intentional, and explicit in their support of queer and marginalized identities. So it means that specific congregation has gone through steps to be exactly all of those things. So, public, intentional, and explicit. So, it's kind of a stereotype about the United Church that they're very social justice oriented.
That definitely matches my experience with that.
It's kind of true.
Yeah. Back in Goderich, to my mind, they are really the, moral conscience of the county. They're really the only ones I see, apart from my own organization, of course. The only ones who are really putting themselves out there unabashedly, standing up on the side of social justice, on the side of the marginalized. It's really refreshing to see. It seems to me that it really opens, or it holds the possibility of opening the door for others to feel empowered, even if they're not members of that congregation. I know this is a tricky road to go down, but would you be open to talking about discrimination? As you've experienced it?
Especially since, I went on, low dose chemo for the pink spawn a year ago. So that kind of hit me with the ugly stick. So, I don't look anything like I did 2 years ago. So, I get it a lot more from people outside of my congregation than anything. But especially because the hormone replacement therapy took about 14 years off of my age on my face.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of 33, I look about 20, but I don't look like a 33-year-old woman anymore. I look like a 20-year-old dude. Mm-hmm. So it's been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It makes dealing with serious situations a lot more difficult.
Would you say that includes interactions with the healthcare system?
Oh, absolutely. I had one that was, in hindsight, in retrospect, it's really, really funny, but I took an ambulance to the hospital for a heart issue back in August. And the triage nurse was like, "Oh, how long have you, identified as a woman?" And, she sees on my health card, that I'm 33 years old. And I said, well, long enough. And I can always tell, which doctor kind of makes the nurses preen him. And I said, long enough that I was fixing that guy's collar when I was 20 years old. And she goes, "Oh, and sorry I asked." Yeah. So.
Any situations where you've either been refused service or you felt you had to walk away from situations, either in healthcare or service?
There's been a couple. I just, I'll go out of my way to treat things at home, as much as possible.
To avoid.
Yeah.
If you could give advice to, say, nurses, frontline healthcare workers who are interacting with trans folks, what would you say?
People know themselves. People definitely know their own bodies. People know themselves. I understand that a lot of trans people, especially trans people that haven't been out for a long time, are very anxious in medical situations. they deserve patience, and I guess I'm just saying maybe they know themselves, but maybe, I guess I'm saying that if, some trans people are, maybe a little more anxious than others.
Sure.
Yeah, because I've had, a couple situations where I've, walked up to triage and they've, just assumed, oh, you're here for a mental health, and it's like, no, it's, no.
Right, like you're inherently a problem to be fixed.
Yeah, or it's just like, they see, like a visibly trans person and assume it's a mental health, then it's like, no, it's a physical health problem. Like it was, I'll save you the details of what it was, but it was a physical health issue that I couldn't take care of home anymore.
So are you saying that trans people have health concerns that have nothing to do with being trans?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Huh. I didn't want to put it that way, but...
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
So you can, like...
It's not all depression.
You, like, break fingers and...
Yeah, it's not all depression. Who'd have thought,
get
right?
Pneumonia and...
Yeah.
Scrape knees, huh?
Yeah, it's not all depression. It was a really boring physical health issue, but it wasn't depression or mental health related.
Can trans people have vision issues and hearing issues?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I got new glasses this summer.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking too of when you're talking about that, how, I mean, not just for trans people, really anyone marginalized, and I mean,
they just immediately let me know there wasn't a psychiatrist in the morning
to fix you.
Yeah.
I think of how like people,
and I'd never been to that hospital for a mental health too.
I was thinking of how like these negative interactions kind of prime people, like when they do seek medical help, that they're kind of like primed for a negative interaction too, like kind of like bracing themselves, which I think just then increases, or it holds the risk of increasing the odds to have a negative interaction. Because I mean, I know when I'm in that kind of situation where I'm expecting to mistreatment, that I'm like hyper vigilant and like scanning for red flags that this person's gonna be patronizing or stigmatizing. So it's almost like those when healthcare workers do treat someone with stigma, it's like doing double duty, because they're not only undermining the interaction in the moment, they're undermining future interactions too, which has a real compounding effect. We're arriving back at your place. One thing I've, like, since the beginning that I've been hoping we might be able to do is, would you be willing to, like, give a little tour of your radio equipment?
Most of it's put away, but yeah, basically it's just a 2-meter transceiver hooked up to a TNC and a sound card modem, and I use it to just basically mostly the TNC is not hooked up right now, but the sound card modem is there to receive basically SSTV transmissions from the space station. And with that, I will get these like kind of color faxes from the space station, and they have like these little postcards, and they'll have like a set of like 5 or whatever that they do for like special events. And you can hear it when it goes overhead, you can hear it for about 5 minutes, and each transmission lasts about 45 seconds to a minute. And that's one image in that 45 seconds. So
it's absolute sorcery to my little mind.
So that's my fun.
So you're saying it's like a picture beams down.
Yeah, and it sounds like a fax. Yeah.
And it sounds like a fax.
Yeah.
And then it arrives on your laptop?
Yeah. Yeah. So
from the space station.
Yeah. So it goes through the little sound card modem, and it's a little Kenwood like 2-meter receiver, and
nuts.
Yeah.
As someone who has been delaying getting a ham radio license for, about 35 years now, can you talk about... I feel like it's imminent. Someday I'm going to get it.
You're going to do it.
I feel like this podcast is an inroad to, if I just think about radio more.
Yeah. You should do it.
Yeah. What draws you to amateur radio?
It's a fun infrastructure for experimentation. So it's, you can, build things, try them out. It's a good way to buy broken stuff and fix it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Building antennas, fixing them, figuring out why they don't work. The math behind it is fun. So
that's cool. It feels like a very there's a bit of a barrier to entry, I would say. having not surmounted it in 3 decades myself.
Yeah, you don't want to go messing stuff up for other people. So
yeah, I feel like there's embedded in that culture. There's so much etiquette and like conscientiousness.
A little bit, not too much, but
not too much conscientiousness.
No, a little bit of etiquette, not too much.
Oh, but, I see.
But yeah, a lot of the guys who, are the guys who, developed software, most modern inventions were hams too. Like, now their names fall out of my head, but
that's okay.
Yeah, you can spend as little money or as much money as you want. That's the fun thing. So.
What's the farthest you've communicated with someone? Apart from the space station.
I pull stuff from like Europe and the Middle East pretty often.
What?
So.
That's nuts.
No, probably New Zealand.
What?
New Zealand, yeah.
That's wild. Well, I think
the fun bit is when you sit down, like kind of thinking of also the just the path of travel that's like instant of it too. It's a kind of a fun mental exercise, just kind of sitting at your desk and
it's traveling at the speed of light.
Yeah, it's an interesting mental exercise.
Yeah, because you have to be aware. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I'm already out of my depth.
It's a weird mental exercise. Like the first time I looked at one of the like images from the space station, it was really humbling.
There's different like kind of pathways of transmission. From what I understood, there's like a line of sight, or you can be like
ground waves or
skywave, like bouncing off of clouds. Is that right?
The ionosphere.
The ionosphere. Yeah. Wild.
But if there's an inverted ceiling on a like cold day where like the temperature gets hotter as you go up, line of sight stuff can bounce off.
Huh.
So you can have VHF go like really far.
So
just to complicate it for you.
Yeah, I love
just to complicate it.
Well, one of these days, maybe you had mentioned, suggested we write the exam together. One of these days, I will get around to it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Any parting words? Just a vibe.
I was trying to think for a sec. I had thought by now we would see some sort of a new program or accountability, but I'm also not surprised whatsoever that we're not seeing anything at all, like whatsoever.
In terms of, like, you're talking specifically about
like with the heart hub, like any development in the heart hubs whatsoever.
We're 8 months into it now.
Yeah. And, absolutely no development in the services in Ontario at Home, which is, the program that you get discharged to when you're discharged from a long hospital stay. But with this government, I'm not really exactly surprised. So, disappointed but not surprised. So,
yeah. It strikes me as a particularly anti-human governing body. It does not seem to hold human life in great value.
Like I see, some bits of communities pulling together to help folks in the adversity, which is really nice. But I hope it holds.
Yeah.
Because I think that's all we're going to have.
Yeah, I think you're right. It feels like responsibility has fallen to the grassroots. Just one-to-one connection.
Yeah. I've always believed that the opposite of it's like alcohol was always my problem, and I've always believed that the opposite of addiction was connection.
Yeah.
And if we can continue to foster further connection and keep trying to build the community we've lost and keep trying to revive the third spaces that we've lost, I think that's where the hope lays, is in kind of reviving those third spaces we've lost.
Absolutely. Well, here's to connection. Thank you so much for connecting with me today.
Thank you.
Great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Walking Radio. Walking Radio is non-commercial, always free, and is powered by the stories that are too often ignored. I'm Patrick Corvin. Please join us on our next episode with radio that listens and stories that move.